pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Indianapolis Colts. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Take it in at the 3. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Young will set to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
After the sack on 1st down, Young rolling to his right.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Sheen. And the Vikings will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season. And add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. They start the drive with Cook and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Lucas.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Ready.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The Colts at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. And they coming off their very first loss of the season, suffered a week ago.
So now we can all take that chasing the 1972 Dolphins and take it and throw it right out the window, right? But let's face it, not many teams talk about that or even have interest in it. All they want to do right now is bounce back after that loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
They'll they'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Young. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's got room.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello to big way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Looking to throw. Lucas.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
They find some open field here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll dump this off to Cook. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And 3rd and 8 now.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
To throw on 3rd down, Lucas.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Well, this defense is circling early. A pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here in this 1st quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a 1st quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
They run it again with Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
61 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
And that last run good enough to have him surpass for his career, get this folks, 12,000 rushing yards.
And how about this? You're in shouting distance now of the top 10 all-time rushers in NFL history. And in short order now, you've got Thurman Thomas, Franco Harris, Marcus Allen, and Edgerrin James right ahead of you. He can zoom past them with just a few more carries.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Cook up the gut. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. 17-0 our score after 1. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Third down, here's a run by Cook. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone.
On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Young.
Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Okay, ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
19.
It's Young off play action. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
19 tight. Ready.
To throw, Young. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Colts are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And the rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 40-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
72 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here's Cook again.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Lucas. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and the deficit will stay at 3 scores. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, set this one off target.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation, because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board. Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Throwing, Young. Forced out to, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Again, it's Cook.
We'll get this up to about the 44.
And with that run, he's already at 100 yards here before halftime. So if he sees the same kind of action in the second half, he could be on his way to a career game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lucas. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Taylor now to return it.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action. Young. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Panther 11,
He'll look to throw. And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Daniil Hunter able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground. This time Lynch. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
117 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself, How much of that is him with a great performance, and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead?
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll run with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of 1st downs, and here a loss of yardage.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. from 8 yards out.
And the Vikings get a bit closer.
Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 36 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Young now. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And the lead is now 24. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand They've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Up the middle, it's Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
On 3rd down, Lucas looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Allen. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Lucas. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Josh Allen picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
Ready?
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, This intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They run once more with Taylor.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
75 yards rushing here for Taylor. He's got a first down.
Looking to throw, Young. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He had a minimal gain on first down. Now they stop him for no gain. What do you think, going in a different direction on 3rd down?
Could very well be. I'll guarantee he's asking for the ball 3rd time to try and make up for the first 2. But his QB might very well say, well, my man, maybe next series. Let's try someone else on this play.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
For the winning side, Charles, all that was missing was a shutout. Just giving up the 7 points, that's it. But really, an incredible game from this defense. A very well-earned victory as a result.
Definitely one of the best single games for defense that you and I have seen in a long time, Brandon, because all we saw was that defense making big play after big play. They got after the quarterback. They had takeaways. You name it, they outclassed them every step of the way and checked every box on the stat sheet in getting it done.
So for Indianapolis, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa